Hello everyone. I'm very happy to be here. My name is Heita Miyoshi. I'm a business development specialist at S2 Interactive, which is my own company. I'm also assuming a VP role at a company called Miyoshi, which is providing live streaming services in Japan. One of the hottest live streaming platforms there. And during my 14 years of career in video games and marketing, digital marketing, I spent most of my time in Korea and Japan. Just a couple of weeks ago, I had a very interesting conversation with my Japanese friend who is about the Korean and Japanese K-pop fans. My friend, she's a big fan of K-pop. I'm not. And the story is like this. In South Korea, every man has to go to the army unless you have serious issues. And there's no exception. Even celebrities, K-pop stars have to go. And so these poor K-pop stars have to leave the society for a while, for like 1 year and 9 months. And as they're leaving, unfortunately, most Korean K-pop fans don't wait for them until they come back from the army. And they skip the other celebrities and follow them. They don't wait for their favorite stars until they come back from the military. And And there are a couple of reasons why they don't wait for them. First of all, there are plenty of content. Tons of celebrities out there, K-pop stars. There are lots of other content, lots of films. For example, South Koreans are the most frequent moviegoers in the world, by the way. They've got dramas, music, and of course games that are waiting for them to be consumed. And secondly, this Korean quest state. This is an expression that I made up, but there are certain things that you must do and you must not do at certain ages and certain circumstances if you are Korean. These are, for example, the things you must buy, certain brands that you have to like, and things like you gotta get married before you reach certain ages, and so on. And also, while they're waiting for those stars, the trend will change. They might behind the fashion, behind the trend. And once you get behind the trend, people think you're not cool anymore. And if you wait for those absent K-pop stars, you get older, then you might surpass the proper age ranges that you are allowed to announce that you are a K-pop fan. These are some of the examples of those Korean tests, and they do care about proper ages to do things. On the contrary, Japanese K-pop fans tend to wait until their favorite K-pop stars come back from the army. They are very patient. And there's also not much social pressure about what to do and what to like and not, at least on these things in Japan. And like these different attitudes toward K-pop, toward the favorite K-pop stars, their attitudes toward gamers, games are also different. Korean gamers seem to be very passionate about finding out and playing new games, but as love doesn't last long, passion doesn't either. And Koreans in general seem to prefer a fast-paced lifestyle, which doesn't seem to be the case for the Japanese. And to me, Korean gamers seem to be a little bit obsessed with having the latest updates on almost all the time. Naturally, games in Korea have really shorter life cycles than those in Japan. Japanese are patient again. They play one game for a very long period of time, like months and sometimes years. And if you look at the sales ranking, the Korean leaderboard changes very fast, while the Japanese leaderboard looks almost static. Naturally, the play styles are different between these two people. Koreans tend to make the most out of it, most out of the game they play in the shortest period of time. And in order to do so, they often skip tutorials. They're like the type of people who don't read manuals and instructions after purchasing like electronic devices. And Japanese are very careful. And I think there's a fear among Japanese gamers. They fear to miss something or something important. That's why they need a tutorial instead. So Japanese industry people usually give advice to non-Japanese game developers, saying that you gotta an easy to understand tutorial to your game. Culturally, Korea and Japan look very similar with each other, but in a closer look, they are so different. And when it comes to gaming, Japan looks like the very center of content. That might be true, but as a matter of fact, Korea played a very critical role in gaming for the last 2 decades in East Asia. So here's my 3-minute summary of what has happened in East Asia in gaming for the last 2 decades. There was a paradigm shift. There was also a power shift. Before, we had only Japan as a gaming power that has a sizable industry and market. Today, we have China, Korea, and Japan, and each one of them has a sizable industry and market. This is a huge change. This is mostly because of the emergence of gaming times the internet, and also the leading role by South Korea. Thus today, we have these 3 countries as world-class gaming markets. And here's a slightly more detailed version of what has happened for the last 3 decades in East Asia. Until the late 1990s, there was no one but Japan. And then it's gaming times the internet that has changed everything. South Korea obviously took the lead in making this happen, and China followed. And as time goes by, now gaming-wise, we have a very developed industry in every one of these countries. They have their own strengths and weaknesses, but all of these countries are very influential globally. And during these 3 decades, Japan made little investment in internet times gaming section. South Korea took the lead, China followed and caught up. Technology-wise, China and Korea are leaders now, and Japan is the follower. Here's a gauge that's selling very well in Japan and Korea. And there are commonalities and differences, but genre-wise, RPGs have been always popular. And also shooting games, FPS in Korea has been always popular. Japan, FPS shooting games didn't take off that much. But for the last couple of years, shooting games have been receiving very well. So games like PUBG and Knives Out, they're very big now in Japan. And as we can see, the trend in shooting games in Japan, it seems that Japanese gamers are gradually accepting these types of interactive games. And after all, Korea and Japan are the two world-class markets now. So I think it is a good reason. I hope this would be a good reason for you guys to regard these markets as potential markets to launch your games. And here's some other tips on these two markets. A good thing about these markets is that the market structure is quite simple. Google Play and App Store, iPhone App Store, are the only main markets. Korea's One Store is the only influential local Android store. And target rankings that local publishers typically put as their goals. Japan within 100 in Google Play and App Store. Korea within top 30 in Google Play. KakaoTalk is a huge messaging game platform in Korea, while Line plays that role in Japan. Both of them are very influential. Line is particularly good at publishing casual games, mostly due to its demographics. And basically, both Kakao and Line opened up games to non-gamers and helped increase the gamer population. And for marketing, there's this service called pre-registration in Korea and Japan, and some of these services are free of charge. The pre-registration services, this is basically either apps or websites that let gamers make a reservation for the upcoming games. There are also a cross-user acquisition platform called NoPass, offered by Sega, which is also very useful. Unfortunately, this is only available in Japan. And last but not least, there's Miyoshi, the company that I work for, is very hot in Japan and Korea. This is a live streaming platform, and we work with developers in many ways. This app basically allows users to live stream their gameplay instantly on their phone, and we also offer a free of charge deep link integration, which will allow your gamers to live stream your game directly to our platform. The deep link integration is super easy and help your games to have the opportunity to have more outside exposure. So these are some useful tips, and I think I hope that's what. Thank you. Yeah. So these are stories of mine, and I hope you enjoyed my talk. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We should probably have to find some questions. So we've left a few minutes there at the end of questions. So if anyone has questions about Japan and Korea, there's one down here. Thank you very much. Then yeah, we can put them to Heita. My problem. There you go.
So yeah, if you're launching into Japan, for example, what are the best platforms and the best ways to publicize your game?
iOS and Android at the same time. And if you have a casual game, you might want to work with companies like Line because they are good at publishing like casual games. One option is work with a publisher, local publisher, and the other one is like work with like consulting companies or like small publishing companies like us, who basically helps you out to self-publish websites. So we help you guys like people like us help you guys localize and do community management do like pre-registration for you guys, stuff like that.
We'll have to talk afterwards. Any more questions for sir about the service? So you're as well as you're a publisher. You have your streaming app as well, but you're also a publisher that can help localize games into.
Yeah, I mean, I have two businesses. One is the live streaming app. The other one is my own business as publishing and also cross-border consulting in gaming. So we do publishing by ourselves, and also we help international developers to publish by themselves in Japan, and we help them out.
Great. So if people have questions about that, they can find you after perhaps. But while we're here, we've got a few minutes. Does anyone have any questions on the markets that we've discussed this afternoon here with Heita? Oh, one down the front here.
Thank you for the talk, it was very interesting. So we do a premium mobile game that has a very heavy story focus. And we've seen that this does resonate in Asia and in Japan, but we're looking at different ways of actually spreading the word about the game. Do you think that when it comes to streaming, that story-driven games would actually be able to do okay using, for instance, narrative, or do you think that that's...
Depending on types of games, I guess, but I mean, in the context of comparison between Korean and Japanese markets, as I said, Koreans are more fast-paced in terms of gameplay, so they tend to skip stories and all that. And on the contrary, Japanese are very careful reading all that. So if the story is very strong, or could be attracted by the Japanese.
Thank you.
Great, thank you very much. Well, if anyone does have any more questions about this market, please find Heita afterwards. Otherwise, thank you very much.
Thank you.